All right, what's going on, guys? Y'all, I want to apologize. I'm gonna have to make this a part two. Like I said, this is gonna have to be in some. I can't think right now, but anyway, this is gonna be part two. Earlier, my phone had completely died. I was gonna show y'all through the process on getting everything taken out, taken loose, or whatever. But like I said, because my phone's not good about holding this dang charge. But anyway, went ahead and got the muffler system out. I done this before I removed the cross member, which is sitting right over there. But since I already got this out, I went ahead and replaced the O2 sensors. You have two of them. You can see how bad they are. I'm not going to replace this one because I really don't have the money to replace it at the moment, and the guy don't have any more money to send right now, so this one's just going to have to make do until later on. But it's got new O2 sensors on both sides. Went ahead and done those since it's already out, and that way I don't have to mess with it. All right, so get you all over here. I already got the transmission out of here. Went ahead and got it dropped and everything. Oh, let me get over here. Oh, look there. There's a 4L60E. Huh? Ain't shit pretty. Okay, but anyway, after I got the exhaust moved out, I went ahead and put a jack, which is not there anymore. It's actually over there. But I went ahead and put the jack and stuff under it, got it braced up, and went ahead and undone the 4 bolts that go right here and here. You got nuts on the top side, inside the frame here. And I think they were 18s. Yes, they were 18s on both of them, millimeter. So got that taken out. Went ahead and disconnected my harness and all that good stuff. On the safety neutral switch, if you cannot get the plugs out, it's just a lot easier to unbolt it. I think they're like 13s or 14s bolts, but just go ahead and take them out and move the harness out of the way. It's a heck of a lot simpler than trying to fight and wrestle with these plugs. All right, because they get stuck, and over time they're just a pain in the butt all around. And I'm trying to get y'all to where y'all can actually see that. So it's actually this little guy right here. All right, just make sure you put the bolts back in, you know, and the nut and everything on this other side. Let me turn this sucker around so y'all can see this. So, which of course is going to go right there. As you see, I got the bolts and the nuts put back so I don't lose them. The transmission bolts that hook into the motor, I've got those sitting right over there. You will have to remove the transmission dipstick, and it's actually held on way up there. Alright, you'll have to feel around and stuff, but you'll feel the clip that it hooks onto. So there's and it's actually hooked onto one of those motor, the bolts for the holding the transmission on. So you also got to remove the torque converter bolts here that bolt up to the flywheel. Alright, so there's the flywheel. I've got those 3 bolts sitting right over there so I don't lose them. I did put a couple bolts in a bag so I don't lose those. I got those labeled, which is sitting over there on this other side. Sorry, I'm laying down trying to film, so. But anyway, got all that tidied up. Now, next thing I'll show y'all, since now we can see full on of this flywheel. See how them teeth, some of these teeth look really, really good. And I know most of y'all probably like, oh, you don't need to, you know, replace that flywheel. That flywheel's in really good condition. Oh yeah, from this point of view it is. But I'm gonna tell you, when you go up underneath here, I don't know if y'all can see that. but they're a little bit boogered up. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing on pause real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and get this flywheel off and actually get y'all a little clearer video on this. All right, I'll be back. All right, so I'm back. All right, so what we had to do, get the flywheel off, we took a big wrench, kind of something like this right here, with this end, and stuck in there in the hole of the flywheel and got it braced up, and used a cheater bar and a 14 socket. One thing is if those bolts, if they're extremely tight like these were, the best socket to really use on something like that, you may have to tap it on or whatever, but get you a set of these. I don't know if y'all can kind of see in there, but it's got extra grooves in there where it actually grips a hold of the bolts really good. It keeps it from stripping out, keeps it from rounding off the heads and everything. This is a good socket to have in your toolbox. They got a whole set of them at AutoZone, so didn't have no problem getting those bolts out. Now, while you're already down this far getting the flywheel off, go ahead and just replace that rear main seal. You got a couple bolts up here around the top there, and that cover piece should come out with the rear main seal. Pop that sucker out. Actually, you might be able to, well, actually, I see some couple of grooves here, a couple of indentions. Might just be able to pull that rear main out right there. I don't know. But I'm going to have to replace the gasket on it and the rear main because it was showing some leakage. It's old oil, but I know that area is leaking. It's not horrible, but I know over time it's going to leak. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and bring you over here to the flywheel, and I'm going to show you the new flywheel. Alright, so you got the box here. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And everything's falling off the deal. So there's the new flywheel right there. There's the old one. I'm going to flip it over. Alright, so this part here be facing the motor. Alright, so since we can get down here on these teeth, hopefully y'all can see this and hopefully it's clear. And see how boogered up those are. See that one? That one. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it. It's got dirt and stuff where I was putting it on the ground. And see how bad the teeth are on it though. So they're pretty boogered up. So come over here to the new flywheel. If you remember what I was saying about what the teeth should look like, this is what the teeth should look like. They should have nice, beautiful squared ends on every single teeth of the flywheel. They should not be damaged at all. Of course not. It's a new flywheel. So there you go. So let's just kind of move around here and show y'all. Well, let me get it. There we go. Y'all can see that, how bad they are. But anyway, that's what's tearing up your starters. Okay, that's exactly what's tearing up your starters when your flywheel gets that bad. So don't assume that just a few teeth are good, because there's going to be some of them that are very bad. And when your flywheel kicks in and it's slipping off, that's why. Replace it anyway. So you got the new flywheel in. We're going to be putting that in. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get this rear main done. And then we'll go ahead and get this put on. So I'll be back here in a minute. Alright, so anyway, back to this real quick. When you get your new flywheel, just to make sure that it is the right one, even though it looks like the right one, just double check, make sure everything lines up. Sure all the holes and stuff, all of it lines up. And this one here is pretty close, alright, close enough, but everything lines up. Yeah, everything lines up. So just want to make sure that everything lines up nicely. Another thing too is let's get this box out. Set it side by side. And looks like it's good on that too. I mean, you can do this all the way around if you wanted. I'm not really going to. But everything is right. So, but anyway guys, that's on that. Alright, so I'm back. Got the rear main seal out. Technically I didn't even have to take off this whole piece, but actually it's a good thing that I did, because there is a gasket that sits back here. The gasket was completely torn up, really bad, dry rotted, and just broke all to pieces. So actually it's a good thing that I did replace this anyway. Those notches that I was talking about right here is what you want to take a flathead screwdriver and just kind of hit these notches right around here and just pry it up, and you'll be able to get the rear main seal completely out of there. One thing I am going to suggest too, and I actually did a boo-boo on this, really bad boo-boo. Actually kind of stupid on my part, and I'm going to admit that. I was actually really freaking stupid about doing this. Not tearing into it, but I knew I had to drop the oil pan just a little bit to get that piece out. Now, I don't have to drop the oil pan just to get the rear main seal itself out, but to get that piece that has that little gasket behind it, you're gonna have to remove all your bolts, because if you try to even remove the rear main seal, or even that plate that it sits in, oil's gonna leak out of it, of course. So I wasted 5 quarts of oil, which, yeah, it sucks for me, because now I have to spend more money and get new and fresh oil. That's conventional oil, so really I don't give a shit, really. Pardon my French on that, but I really don't care. It's freaking conventional. But plus it's not as expensive as the other. Hang on, let me get this camera turned around here real quick so y'all can kind of see back here. So that's kind of what you're going to be working with here. Trying to get it to where y'all can see this. Okay, so if y'all can kind of see that, hopefully. So all that needs to be cleaned up really good. Shit, I'm trying to see where I'm at. There I am. Okay, so all that needs to be cleaned up really good. And yeah, it sucks because I put a new oil pan gasket on it and everything else. So try to get, there we go, turn back around. So all your bolts and stuff are gonna have to come out. there is a place right somewhere right there in the middle. There's a bracket. I think it's 11. I think it's 11 millimeter on that first nut, and that bracket that I'm talking about is that one. That's what holds the transmission lines in. But this nut here, right here, is I think it was 11. I think I said, yeah, 11. And then this one here is kind of probably a damn standard, because a 10 don't fit on it. But if you have, wherever I found it, wherever I seen it, and I had it somewhere, I've got a, God damn it, I don't even know where it's at the moment. But anyway, I've got a 10 that the open end right here is actually notched more as of basically kind of like a triangle type of deal. Oh, there it is. Oh. So if you got a 10 millimeter that's kind of shaped like this here, see the difference in it? You can actually get a bite on this lower nut right here. So, and you can remove that if you don't have the right one. But you can see the difference, how that is more rounded than this one here. So that actually works out. So yeah, so you're gonna have to drain your oil. If you're gonna start this, you might as well just go ahead and do the transmission first. If you're gonna be doing the flywheel, the rear main, all this other crap, do the transmission first. It's a lot easier, in my opinion, than trying to do the oil pan gasket, do the oil, and then switch off to your other stuff. I wasn't thinking. It was actually a stupid part of me on that. So, oh well. Everybody makes mistakes at times. So, I mean, nobody's perfect. So, it is what it is. So, I guess that's what happens when you're not in the right mood to do stuff. And I really can't, I can't really hold off on this truck. It's got to be done. So, but anyway, guys,